think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning out. Lightning in a bottle. I think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning out.
Yo, how you living, how you feeling, how you doing? This is First Choice Fantasy. We are back today with our Week 4 picks, spread, money line, etc. Our record from last week and our year-to-date week is right there on the whiteboard. Wasn't so hot of a week last week. I was in the middle. Cam was on the bottom and X was on top. Very close though. It was 6, 8, and 9, I believe, something like that.
Yeah. Right,
We weren't hot overall though, but
it wasn't a great week. We're gonna try and get back this week.
Yeah, hopefully.
Did a little better week 2.
Some safer picks.
Some weird games too, with like the flex to Tuesday night possibly. We'll see how that works. But you guys have anything else to say about the previous week?
Just a rough one. We're trying to be better for you guys.
Solid. All right. First game we have tonight, which is we're gonna upload this Thursday, so you guys are gonna see it before the game. Hopefully, if not, sucks for you. Thursday night, Denver Broncos at the New York Jets. The Broncos are 1.5 point favorites.
Game of the week.
And they're starting Brett Rypien. Actually, you can do this one, I guess.
This was a tough one. I mean, both offenses I think are going to be absolute doo-doo. The Jets' offense is crap. Sam Darnold was seeing ghosts there week 1, I think, or not week 1, last week. I think he's going to be seeing ghosts yet again against the Broncos.
They're facing a lot of injuries.
I'm taking the spread here, the Broncos spread at -1.5. I was thinking about taking that under too. Not gonna lie for that game, even though it's
39.5.
It's 39.5. I think this game is gonna be probably not a lot of points put up. I mean, it could be. But both of the defenses are quality when it comes to the run. I don't know, but the quarterback situation is going to be spooky on both sides.
Well, yeah, Sam Darnold, spooky man.
What do you guys think?
I'm leaning the Jets here. My initial thoughts would be I'd rather bet on Sam Darnold than Brett Rypien, but I'm looking at Brett Rypien. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. His stats, he was 8 for 9 coming in last week. He did throw a pick though on that one incompletion. And that was while the rushing game was getting shut down by the pretty good Buccaneers rushing defense. So it might go a little bit better for him, but I'm going to stick with the Jets here. I don't think they're even going to continue to get shit on like they have been. Jets plus 1.5. It's probably going to be a pretty close game, so maybe that 1.5 will come in handy. Who knows? But yeah, I like the Jets here.
I like the Broncos spread. I originally bet on the Jets to win by 1 to 13 points. It was pretty decent odds, but looking at it, I think this is going to be like the perfect setup for Adam Gase's end of his career. He's going to lose to a third-string quarterback, Denver Broncos at home. Final game with New York, I think, if he loses, which I'm predicting is going to happen. Yeah, he has to. They were already talking about having discussions around it. Yeah, have to. I mean, I would hope so. I hope so for the Jets as a whole. And the fans,
Adam
too.
Gase is not going to be the Jets coach by the end
of the year. That's the entire thing I'm going with, the storyline. So, Brett Rypien somehow makes a win over the Jets in like a 17-10 game or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Adam Gase out of there. And not good for fantasy purposes, but I think the personnel with the Broncos, like just players overall as well, even though Brett Rypien is their starting quarterback, they still have Font, they still have Melvin Gordon, the offensive line's pretty solid. Phil Lindsay might be back, he's been limited in practice, so I would go with the Colts -1.5. Possibly. KJ Hamler too. I mean, the Jets, they're just putrid, but...
Putrid.
Moving forward to the Sunday games, 1 o'clock, the first game kick us off. Arizona Cardinals are 3.5 point favorites going into Carolina. Cam, you can take us away.
Last week I was going to roll with the Panthers over the Chargers, and I decided not to, and it kicked me in the ass. So I'm not going to do that again, though. I'm taking the Cards -3.5. Cards struggled last week a little bit with the Lions, but the Lions
that was a bit of a surprise in my opinion.
Slightly, it's a little bit predictable there with Kenny G coming back. The Cardinals, the offense is potent, and it did pretty good last week. I guess the running game got shut down a little bit, or Kyler Murray struggled. I'm not really too keen on that, but something happened there. I do like them to get back on track here versus the Panthers. The Panthers were able to hold a young quarterback at bay. They're not going to do that with Kyle Murray. So I like a -3.5. It should be easy to come by.
That Panthers run defense is putrid as well. So
yeah. But you said that about the Lions last week too.
Yeah.
What happens?
The Cardinals losing upset me last week. That was not a. I think the Cardinals money line last week, so that game-winning field goal by Matt Prater upset me there. But I'm sticking with the Cardinals money line here this week.
I am going with Cardinals money line because I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. The spread is very close, but I mean I could see this Cardinals winning by a touchdown, so it's not like it's too risky. But definitely see the Cardinals winning. Their offenses are both pretty solid. I think Cardinals defense is a step above the Panthers. And I think Cardinals offense is a step above the Panthers offense as well. So I just think it's pretty obvious here. I mean, I want to say it's the Cardinals, but obviously shit happens sometimes. But Cardinals money line is my pick.
Obviously, we saw that last week with the Cardinals.
Exactly. I'm starting Chase Edmonds and Kenyon Drake in my league this week too, so that's interesting, I guess. Not really, though.
Because Josh Kelly and Austin Eckler both had good games.
Josh Kelly did perform pretty solid, and then he fumbled, and then he got taken out. But he had like 5 yards per carry or some shit like that. It's pretty solid.
And Josh Jacobs ran all over the Panthers week 1.
Leonard Fournette was RB4 week 2.
Yeah, against the Panthers.
Running back should go pretty solid against
Kenyon Drake, and I think Kyler Murray is going to have a good game on the ground as well.
For sure.
Eckler did a lot of damage through the air last week. He only had 59 rushing yards from 12 attempts, but that's still pretty efficient.
He did have a rushing touchdown, Kyler Murray last week.
Panthers should get pretty shit on.
Hopefully. Moving forward to the second 1 o'clock game, we have the Ravens with a huge spread of -13 over the Washington football team for obvious reasons. My pick is Baltimore -13. It was kind of scary, I guess, to me because I don't like betting on big spreads like this. But then looking at, say, like a score, like reasonable score, say like week 1, I think they beat the Browns, what was it, like 38-9 or some shit like that? It was something like that. It was obviously more than 13 points. And the Washington football team is a lot worse than the fucking Browns. And I think I said it in one of the Start Sit videos. I think it was the wide receiver videos about Terry McLaurin. I think that Dwayne House is going to struggle first half. He might have a number of turnovers, obviously leading to a lot of Ravens points. And I think they may see a quarterback change throughout the game. So with that possibility happening,
I don't see a quarterback change. And I think Dwayne Haskins will still struggle. That whole offense will struggle against the Ravens. They have a really good defense.
Yeah.
But I don't know about a quarterback change there.
I mean, they've been talking about it. It's not like it's impossible.
They have?
Alex Smith,
is
Case
he good
Keenum.
to go?
Huh?
Is Alex Smith good to go?
Yeah, he's been good to go.
Supposedly.
I don't know. I wouldn't really want to trust that.
Trust what?
Alex Smith playing.
Well, I mean, Dwayne Haskins hasn't been all that great.
Dwayne Haskins has been a game manager thus far. I mean, he's not really doing much out there. So, I mean, Alex Smith can't be too much worse. That would be better.
But still, I mean, going back to this game, in my opinion, the spread, I think, or the money line is safe to go either way.
Well, money line's a gimme. It's
money line's a
-720.
gimme. That's
money line's a gimme.
I wouldn't ever bet on that straight up. I'm probably gonna throw that in a parlay. I mean, I did do that in a parlay I put last night. But I think I'll do another one. I'll do another one. I'll throw that in as in that one in a parlay, but the spread as like a straight up bet is a lot safer.
I was gonna lean in the Ravens money line here, but just because of the total spread, but Ed just kind of convinced me to take the spread. He put up some great points. I mean, the Ravens are one of those teams that
offense should put up a lot of points too.
They should.
Bounce back week after getting shut down by the Chiefs.
Gibson most likely. He's not going to be able to make an impact out there. And then he just has Scary Terry, and he's not going to be too scary this week.
Yeah. He's going to be looking scary.
Yeah, I could very well see a 30-7 victory. Something like that. I mean, I don't see Washington doing much out there unless Lamar starts tweaking and the same goes from last week.
Yeah.
And
under 100 passing yards is pretty bonkers. The Ravens actually have one of the worst passing offenses in the league at the start of this year. I know it's only 3 games in, but it's still kind of shocking.
Huh?
I think they're ranked 31st, to be honest.
In what yards? Or?
I think total passing yards on offense.
I mean, they did blow out the first team, so it's not like they needed to pass all that much, but it's understandable.
And, this past week, not only 94 yards from Lamar was a bit shocking.
Very spooky.
If you figured out Lamar, something to think about.
Washington won't, though.
His rushing yards have been a lot.
Washington will not.
Oh, yeah.
They just don't have the talent. Who knows? Vera might, but yeah.
I mean, their run defense is better than their passing defense, so maybe we'll see a bigger passing game from Lamar
possibly
this week.
I believe it.
Moving forward, we have the Cleveland Browns, the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are 4.5-point home favorites. Cam, you can take this one.
I like the Cowboys 4.5 here. The Cowboys have been doing me a little bit dirty. I took them week 1. I took the Falcons week 2. And then took the Cowboys week 3. So hopefully the Cowboys hopefully they pay me some dividends this week, taking care of the Browns. I think it's going to be a pretty easy task. Something that surprised me, apparently the Cowboys are even deeper than we thought. Cedric Wilson was out there balling. So then apparently they got a fourth guy to come in there, CeeDee Lamb or Michael Gallup or Amari Cooper, who seems to always gets banged up. So that's a little spooky. But Dak Prescott isn't really performing as well as he would like him to. He would like himself to, because he's hoping to get paid with Patrick Mahomes' eyes at the end of this offseason. So I think he's going to step it up a little bit. The Browns defense should be able to let up some points, and I like the Cowboys spread.
I agree. I like Cowboys spread. I think the offense is very good, and I think the Browns defense is very bad, except for on the ground, which I think they'll probably be able to contain Zeke to a point. Obviously not minimal yardage and whatnot, but I think you're going to hold them on the ground. You're going to get gashed through the air, and I think that's how the game's going to go. And the Cowboys are going to win by 5+.
I'm also agreeing with that spread. Just really bouncing off of what you said about the Cowboys offense being good. They have a lot of weapons to work with, and especially through the air, I think, is where they'll succeed mainly in this game. Cowboys are definitely winning by more than 5 points.
Is that a lock of the week, possibly?
I don't know about lock of the week yet. I think there's some other games here that you could definitely say are 100% more locks of the week than this one.
Well, yeah, I mean, minus 720 for the Ravens. I'm sure you would say it's a lock, but that's the money line.
That's just like...
On a game that might be closer, I think the lock of the week is coming up down at 425. We'll get to that one in a little bit.
All right, we'll move forward to the next 1 o'clock game. It was Indianapolis Colts, 2.5-point road favorites against the Chicago Bears. I have the Colts spread. I think the Colts offense, obviously they played the Jets last week, so it's not like they have much competition, I guess, last week, but they look pretty decent. I think their defense, the Colts defense also as well, is pretty underrated in my eyes, and I think the Bears offense, now that they have to depend on David Montgomery rather than have him shift in and out. I mean, I guess you can call Cordell Patterson a game shifter, I guess, or whatnot, but I see David Montgomery just having to handle the workload. I don't know if that's going to go too well.
So you're taking the Colts?
Yeah, so I'm taking the Colts spread.
I oppose. I like the Bears, so plus 2.5. Might be a little biased, though, because of that Nicky Foles magic that just reappeared. I think it's going to continue at least for another game or two. Everyone knows he's a streaky quarterback. I don't think it's just going to fall off. That Bears offense is not too bad. They got some decent weapons out there at wide receiver for him, so I think Allen Robinson's going to have a good game. Anthony Miller hopefully becomes a little bit more consistent. I like the Bears here, plus 2.5. I like it. X, what do you think?
I have the Colts spread as well at minus 2.5. I don't think the Bears are going to go 4-0 to start the year. They shouldn't be 3-0 as it is right now. They've had some wonky comebacks that I don't think they should have won those games. I mean, with Nick Foles being a quarterback now, there'll be a little something else to see, but I think the Colts are a better team overall.
I just don't love that Colts offense. I think it's a little bit flukish. I mean,
Phillip Rivers is
doing
Phillip Rivers things just in a Colts uniform.
I love Phillip Rivers as a guy. He's hilarious. Dad gum. He's a funny dude, but I just don't think he's it. I like to see a little bit more from Jonathan Taylor here. I think if it turns into an offensive game, I think
he only ran the ball 13 times against the Jets. I'd like to see a bigger workload maybe here against the Bears. Even though the Bears' run defense, I think, is still pretty good. And their pass defense isn't terrible either.
That could be due to all the interceptions that the Colts were getting because they left on a short field position, so they're not going to be running the ball as much. So it's going to be a different game strip, I'm sure.
Yeah. This was a tough one for me. This was I think the last game I actually made a pick for. I had to think about it the most.
I think it'll be one of the better games of the week. I can't see either team running away with it.
Yeah.
I can see the Colts winning on a field goal. That's why I like that minus 2.5.
All right, moving forward. Jacksonville Jaguars at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are 3-point favorites to get their first win of the year. X.
This is one of my, I guess you could say, upsets of the week. I think the Jaguars are going to win this game. I'm taking their money line.
Can't really say that's an upset. I mean,
I'm only calling it an upset just
because of the odds.
Just because of the odds.
It's just one of those games where you can't even determine.
Yeah, I just think the Jaguars are going to.
It's an even game.
The defense will be better. That Bengals offense really is only centered around Joe Burrow, and he's having. I mean, I don't know. You think Joe Burrow is going to have a bigger game?
No, yeah, I do. I don't think the Bengals are going to continue to lose. Joe Burrow is a very good quarterback out there. As soon as they decide to put a confident offensive line in there for him, which obviously is going to happen no matter the week, they're going to be a very good team. The wide receivers are very good. T. Higgins is improving on a week-to-week basis. His role is growing.
A.J. Green's been struggling.
A.J. Green a little bit, but if they can get that consistent help from T. Higgins and cause some pressure on opposing defenses to focus
Joe
on him,
Mixon's
it's going to help A.J. Green. And then they got Tyler Boyd in there too. That Jags defense was very bad last week versus the Dolphins. I don't think that's going to change at all. I like the Bengals this week. Bengals money line, that is.
I like the Bengals spread. Though it might not be a high-scoring game, I still think the Bengals put up a decent amount of points to cover the spread. And my reasoning is practically the same as you guys. Well, as him, not you. But
this might be the only one that I disagree with you on the week.
Maybe. Moving forward to the next 1 o'clock game, we have the Chargers against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You guys are going to disagree with me here. I took the Chargers spread plus 7.5.
No, I would not disagree because
thank God, okay.
I mean, I disagree in what I'm taking. I'm taking the Bucs money line just because it's the safest bet.
Yeah.
It's the safest bet here in this game. But I really do see the validity in Chargers plus 7.5 because
this game could be close.
Yeah, I don't see the Bucs as they're a good team. They're one of the probably top 12 teams in the league right now. But they're not one of the teams that's just gonna overpower you really on offense with the.
I mean, the Chargers kept it close with the
Chris
Chiefs.
Godwin out, Scotty Miller out. Yeah, like you
Justin
said.
Watson.
That game went to overtime. That game shouldn't have gone to overtime.
Yeah, Herbert's going to bounce back a little bit. Got beat by the Panthers last week, but it wasn't all on him. I like the Bucs money line though. That's the safest pick here, but I think it's going to be a close game.
I think the Bucs money line is one of the more safer picks this week, actually.
If I really wanted to submerge myself, I would go with the Chargers money line just to be ballsy, but I'm going to stay safe with the spread because I really like. I said it in one of the start sit videos. I think the Chargers are going to be the upset of the week this week. They're going to beat the Buccaneers. I think Mike Evans might get shut down like DJ Moore did, like many other cornerbacks have. And they have no Chris Godwin, no Scotty Miller. Sure, the tight ends might get used and whatnot. The Chargers' front seven is also pretty solid. We talked about stout. I just feel like they have the recipe of all the teams to beat the Buccaneers this week, especially with the injuries that are happening. So it's valid.
No, it is, for sure.
All right, moving forward, we have the Vikings at the Texans. This is a game that the Texans are favored by 4.5, and the Vikings didn't have any positive tests, right, for COVID? They had the game and they didn't have any tests. That's good. So the game is likely going to stay, unlike the other game that we're going to get to later.
Yeah, this test can come back and then next day and be completely different.
True. Most of these games, yeah. All right, Ax, you can kick it off.
Well, I mean, I think you guys will agree with me. This is probably a must-win game for both of these teams. They're both 0-3.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I have the Vikings money line as my pick. I don't know. I think the Vikings are going to just want it a little bit more, even though it is. I don't know. This one's tough. This is another tough one.
A lot of tough picks for you here, Kid X.
Honestly.
I like the Vikings spread here, plus 4.5. The Vikings spread did me good last week. Got me one of my 1 out of 6 wins, rarity last week. The Texans, I think they'll probably win. I just think it's going to be a closer game. The Texans, their defense is just shaky. They're trying to get Earl Thomas in there. They weren't able to yet because of
their offense is shaky
concerns. Too. And yeah, their offense is a little bit shaky. What's that?
They play good teams, so
yeah, exactly. Their offense isn't as shaky. I feel like they just need better play calling or something. I haven't really been focusing in on the Texans since that Week 1 game I watched, but I feel like Bill O'Brien just needs to get a little bit better. Their offense, they have the weapons there. Will Fuller stayed healthy. Randall Cobb's there. Brandon Cooks has stayed in the game, and David Johnson has been doing decent. Maybe that offensive line is a little bit sketchy for him, but I like the Vikings getting back on track. they did get back on track in my eyes last week. That defense just, can't do anything about all the injuries they faced. They put up 30 points, which is a drastic change from prior weeks. So I think they continue to improve and at least cash out the spread for me.
I went with the Texans spread. I think the Texans kind of get back on track here. They show everybody that their offense is still valid compared to the previous 3 games, and the Vikings defense is still poop. So I'm just going to take the Texans spread.
The Vikings, or not the Vikings, the Texans rushing attack is ranked 31st in the league.
Texans rushing attack?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think about it. You did play in 1/3 of the games you played against Pittsburgh, who has one of the best run defenses. So.
Dude. No, okay, I'm thinking week 1. Sorry, I didn't watch the Pittsburgh game.
They did pretty decent in week 1, but who did they play week 2? You know?
They had the Ravens.
Oh yeah, that's even that's another.
Worse.
That's 2 of the 3 matchups that are pretty fucking solid. But
that definitely goes into that for sure.
All right, moving forward, we got the Saints 4-point favorites on the road against Detroit. Cam, you can kick us off.
This is one of the tougher picks for me. For a lot of people, it probably wouldn't be just by the eye test. Lions, Saints all day. Lions improved a little bit last week. Kenny G helped a lot. That's going to take the pressure off Marvin Jones. He'll be able to probably do some things this week with Marshawn Lattimore probably locking up with Kenny G.
Start the week.
However, I'm going to take the Saints money line. I think it's probably the safest pick here. The Saints should get back on track, but then again, you can see Drew Brees just continuing to struggle. He didn't really struggle last week, though. He looked a lot better. Aaron Rodgers just got the best of him. But, yeah, I like the Saints money line here. I think it's a safer pick.
Supposedly Michael Thomas has been practicing, too. I don't know if he's questionable or if he's out or if he's even good to go against the Lions, but I went with the Saints money line. I think the coaching there is much better than the Matt Patricia-led Lions, and I think that Saints are going to execute unlike the Lions. I do see Marvin Jones getting a touchdown, though. I did say that in the start-sit wide receivers video, but as a whole, I think the Saints are going to be able to get it done against Detroit.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an important bounce-back game for the Saints after dropping 2 in a row. I think Drew Brees is going to get it on a little bit more here. I'm taking the Saints spread here, actually.
Which is what right now?
-4.
That's why I didn't like it, because I could see it coming down to a field goal.
True, the Lions did spoil me last week, like you said.
Lions love to come
Cardinals
back
game.
late in games, and it's exactly.
I'm just hoping the Saints will be the better team here.
Yeah.
I think this could be a high-scoring game as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving on to the last 1 o'clock game, we have the Seattle Seahawks at the Miami Dolphins. The Seahawks are favored by 6.5 points. I went with the Seahawks 6.5 point spread. I think Russ is a different breed, obviously, as you've seen through 3 weeks. He's going to be able to dot up this Miami Dolphins defense. I think their defense steps up a little bit. I mean, it's the Dolphins. It's not like it's, powerhouse offense or anything. Obviously, they looked pretty good last week against the Jags, but it's the Jags. I think the Seahawks, just as a whole, are a better team, and I think 6.5 points is a pretty valid line. I think the Seahawks are able to cover it.
We could see another 4 or 5 touchdown pass game from Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I do.
Really cementing his role in that MVP run.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on pace for 72 touchdown passes this year.
Yeah.
Absolutely absurd. I like the Hawks here -6.5. Looking at the spreads this week, I was kind of surprised that they were only given 6.5 points.
Well, I think the reasoning behind that is the Seahawks have a 32nd ranked defense.
Yeah.
They played against some good teams, though.
That is.
Falcons,
they
Cowboys.
All the teams they've played, they've put up a lot of points against them, and they've also put against. I think the Dolphins could, this could be one of these games where the Dolphins also put up a lot of points, but like you said, the Seahawks defense could.
I don't see it.
Should step up a little bit more.
Fitzpatrick's a little bit iffy. He did okay last week, but he only had like 160 passing yards, I believe, right?
I don't know.
70 something?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I know it wasn't a high amount. It was really just because of that Jaguars defense and all the penalties that were getting called against them, really, too. That put them in the spot they were in. I don't foresee it being too close to the game. I think the Dolphins are getting pooped on like they should. Seahawks -6.5. That's a good lock.
Yeah, I can dig it. Moving forward to the 4 o'clock slate, we have the first game, which is the New York Giants at the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are favored by big number, 12.5 points. You two can talk this out, I guess. So.
I think that spread is actually something to hop all over. I'm not usually also one to hop all over big spreads, but I think the Rams will fucking blow out the Giants here. Because that minus 650 money line is not something to bet on unless you're putting it in like a parlay or something, which I probably will do.
You have it in a parlay.
I have it already, but as far as like a bet straight up, minus 12.5.
Of course. Yeah, the 12.5, I think.
It's very doable.
Yeah, very doable, but. Nah, I'm not going to change it. I'm going to take it. 12.5 spread. The Rams are probably going to spread all over the Giants if you want to look at it that way. Because the Giants aren't going to be able to do much out there.
Yeah, the Giants' offense is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I went with the Giants spread. I'm a little different here. Yeah. So
this guy.
The reasoning not really valid. I just don't see them losing by 12.5, even though they are a bad team. The Rams are a good team. The Rams showed it last week. Giants haven't showed shit in 3 weeks. They also had a pretty rough couple games. So I mean,
the Rams are also one of those teams that seem to play up and down to their opponent's level.
Yeah.
A lot of the times. So that could be taken into account here.
I don't think the Giants even have a chance of winning this. So I think the Rams minus 650 is obviously the easiest decision. But I think the Giants spread is a valid one. But it's 12.5. It's a pretty big margin. And I don't know if there's that big of a difference. Like you said, like the Rams sometimes play down. The Rams are kind of iffy from week to week in my eyes. And I think that the Giants could possibly sneak in a 10-point game.
Yeah, that's valid.
For sure.
All right, second game of the 4 o'clock games. We have the Buffalo Bills at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Bills are 3-point favorites. Yes.
This is going to be my upset of the week, I guess, if you want to call it. I'm taking the Raiders here at home. I don't know if that's a real big upset of the week. I don't know what you guys are thinking.
In my eyes, it is because I had it as the
lock of the week. Yeah, I'm done with that one.
As what, the Bills?
Yeah.
Bills spread?
Yeah, Bills spread lock of the week here.
I don't know. I'm just feeling confident in the Raiders this week. The Rams almost had the Bills last week. The Rams, I think, should have won that game.
And then Josh Allen was a nice MVP run. So.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is looking real nice.
And John Brown left the game early, too.
And the Raiders don't have Brian Edwards or Henry Ruggs. And banged up Josh Jacobs. So
this could be a fool of a pick, but I'm
big fool.
I'm being ballsy on this one.
Alright.
You think the Bills just like on offense just choke? Like what do you think can really happen? Like what is your prediction within the game? You know what I mean? Like you think Devin what the fuck is his name? Hunter Renfrow. Do you think he's gonna have a big game? You think Darren Waller's gonna have a big game?
I think Darren Waller's gonna have a bounce back big game.
Big game.
Josh Jacobs I think is gonna have a big game as well. I don't know.
Some yardage, some Mike Gesicki.
I'm going to say not a bad game from Josh Allen, but not as good as he's been doing. I don't see him putting up like 400 passing yards.
You think the Raiders are just going to stomp on the Bills then? Or?
No, they're not going to stomp on them. That +3 is not terrible either. I think it will be close. I can see this being like a last game-winning drive type thing to win this game.
We differ. All right.
I do not.
Moving forward, the New England Patriots at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by 7 points. Ken, you can go ahead.
I was iffy on the Chiefs spread here just because the Patriots are a good team. Cam Newton's having a pretty damn good year thus far. That defense isn't as banged up as we thought with all those COVID-19 opt-outs. But I do like the Chiefs spread here. Chiefs -7. They should win by at least 10, I think. Their offense is just looking real good. Patrick Mahomes threw for 5 touchdowns last week versus the Ravens. That's something else. He was not playing around. He's pretty mad about being ranked the 4th quarterback in the league, apparently. So yeah, I like the Chiefs -7 here. That defense is a little bit shaky, so we could see it being a high-scoring game. But like I said, I think they'll win by at least 10.
I copped out here. I went with the Chiefs money line. It's just the Patriots' brains behind the plays that they run and all that shit. I just feel like their staff is just, it's questionable. Like, you really never know. Like, they're one of the best, but then you may think the Chiefs are pretty smart and might out-scheme them, but I don't know. I really don't know with this game. I took the Chiefs' money line because of the favorites, and I think that offense showed what they can do to a great defense last week. And I think they also showed on defense that they could stop a mobile quarterback, per se, with Lamar Jackson last week. So
the Chiefs are the best team in the league.
Easily. Oh, yeah, for sure. Until somebody dethrones them, which I don't think will happen, Kansas City is the best team in the league, and 7 points. Sketchy to me, but I would go with the money line just to be safe. I would like to be right this time.
Yeah.
I bet you their odds to win the Super Bowl are skyrocketing.
100%.
Yeah. They're probably pretty shitty right now.
What is the closest team to that, you think, at this point?
Maybe the Packers.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah.
Packers.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
Really.
Saints are shit at the bed.
The Packers and Chiefs are very similarly built.
Don't sleep on my Steelers.
They have both weaker defenses,
Yeah.
and then they have the MVP type quarterbacks with the
Good running back.
with a good running back. Where they defer those that wide
What about the
receiver
Seahawks?
corps. The Chiefs are just very good at wide receiver.
Yeah.
Seahawks are
offense
there too, but the defense I think is just
Yeah.
gonna. I don't think that defense will be able to get them in the Super Bowl this year, unfortunately.
If we do think about this
It has
this
to be
way,
all on the
though,
shoulders of Russell Wilson.
the Chiefs' defense last year was also questionable going into the playoffs and like in the regular season. So it's possible they do that the Seahawks defense adjusts, but
Yeah.
for now.
For now, also the
Chiefs
Chiefs as a team have stayed a lot healthier than some of these other teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very true. I was just saying how have they had the
Like
Chiefs
the,
and Ravens have had
the Seahawks
any
lose on
significant
defense, their
injuries yet.
linebacker,
Same with us watching the game.
to a torn ACL.
Oh, rookie, yeah.
No, not a rookie, the
Who's
Seahawks
Jordan
linebacker.
Brooks.
No, they signed him in the offseason.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was like week 2 or something that happened.
No.
Seahawks?
Yeah, Seahawks linebacker.
I don't know. Sunday Night Football.
Sunday football.
What a great game this is going to be.
Our Philadelphia Eagles, not him.
Woohoo!
At the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are favored by 7 points. Eagle fan, let's hear it.
You know, at least they're not 0-3.
That's a positive way to
That's
look
the
at
only
it, I
way
guess.
positive to look at it.
I have nothing in that win column yet, though, and I don't think that's going to change this week. I was going to go Eagles spread just because I don't think they're going to sit down and take it like a bitch. I think they're going to try and fight, but I don't think Carson Wentz have it. He even has it anymore. Hopefully he proves me wrong, but I'm just going to continue to say that and whatever. Hopefully I see it.
Eventually.
I don't think I'm going to see it this week, but I'm going to take the 49ers money line, though, because I think that's the safest pick here. They should win with relative ease, I suppose. I mean, that defense showed what they can do to a porous offense, and the Eagles is very porous at offense. 49ers money line, very safe pick. The Eagles are just going to continue to disappoint me if I try and bet on them. I'm not going to do it anymore.
Yeah, speaking of which, I had to see the 49ers money line just now, but I switched it up because the 49ers showed what they could do last week, even with the injuries and whatnot. -7, I took their spread against the Eagles, who have no Goddard. Who else? Deshaun Jackson is hurt as well. Jalen Reagor's not even on the IR, but he's not playing. Alshon Jeffrey still isn't even back. It's just a bunch of questions. You're going to have J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Greg Ward, and Zach Ertz, and Miles Sanders. Obviously, it's not a terrible core, but I just don't see it doing much.
Howie Roseman needs to go, man. It's just pitiful. We're at the same exact spot that we were at in week 14 last year. Within 3 weeks in the season, we have nothing on offense again except for Zach Ertz and Greg Ward. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's disastrous. It really is. 3 weeks into the season, and we're shot. It's unbelievable.
I could see a John Hightower breakout game, possibly. But
hopefully.
That's what you hope for as an Eagles fan.
Yeah,
but
I mean, that's what you need. I mean, it's
Well, Jalen Hurts.
the only thing that's going to bring any hope to us.
No.
Not yet. Yeah.
And I'm taking that 49ers spread as well.
Yeah. Safest pick here.
That 49ers offense is going to be still dynamic. Like I said earlier.
Dynamic, he whispers.
Dynamic.
And the
Eagles' rushing defense has been pretty bad, too.
Yeah, they're not an elite rushing
Jared
defense anymore.
McKinnon,
Their defense
Jeff
is,
Wilson 1-2 combo punch.
Michael Hasty's going to have a breakout game.
And the Eagles continue to struggle to tackle in the secondary like they always have. It's
sure.
something I've been watching for freaking 12 years now. It's
McMullen's 5 touchdown passes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I would say Jeff Wilson 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, that's more valid.
More likely.
Facto.
Something like that if you're going craziness.
All right.
But all right.
That's the end of Sunday night. We have Monday Night Football now. The Atlanta Falcons at the Green Bay Packers. Packers are 7-point favorites. Cam, you want to go?
I like the Packers -7 here. The Falcons, their offense should put up some more points. I'm not sure if Julio's going to play, though, which is definitely brings down their offensive fluidity because Calvin Ridley's going to get keyed in on, and then Russell Gage is a little bit iffy with his, I believe, head injury.
Another weak head.
Who else do they even have out there? Wide receiver.
Olamide Zaccheaus.
Yeah, so no one really notable.
Cheetos.
And then Hayden Hurst hasn't really made an impact, really. I mean, he has...
There's a couple games, 2 touchdowns in a row.
Yeah, but that's it.
That's it.
That's it. He's not going
to... absolutely wide open on the one, and then...
The other one's a 1-yard touchdown, was it?
Yeah, 1-yard touchdown last week, and that was his only catch and target.
Todd Gurley's weak.
Todd Gurley, yeah. He's Todd Gurley. I mean, his knees... He's like an old man out there, I guess, or something. The arthritis is getting to him. Nah, he's not that bad out there. And Brian Hill's making a little bit of an impact now.
Yeah.
So their offense should put up some points, but Packers showed what they can do. They're a very potent team this year. I like a -7 this week.
My take is the Packers money line, but that's just due to the fact that if Julio plays, I think it's going to be a big shootout. If Julio doesn't play, I don't know if the shootout's going to be that large. I think the Packers will be able to win with ease, and then the spread is easier at that point, obviously. Better odds and whatnot, but -335 out of the Packers money line.
Yeah, Packers money line is, I think, one of the most safer picks this week, in my opinion. The Falcons do need to win, but it's definitely not going to come this week against that Packers team.
Right.
They're playing really good football right now.
Hot
Rodgers is hot. Aaron Jones is hot. Devontae Adams, well, he's hurt.
Yeah.
When is he coming back?
He might be coming back.
He might be coming back
He
this
might be,
week.
yeah.
He looks pretty damn healthy standing there on the sidelines.
So, he's been playing good this year as well.
The one game.
The one game was good.
1.5.
What a fucking stud.
But that's it.
Packers offense is just...
That's a given. He is something else to watch. His route running is unbelievable.
Best receiver in the game.
Possible.
All right.
I think Michael Thomas is still up there.
No.
No.
Michael Thomas fucking pisses me off. fucking literally.
Slap.
Like that's all he does. You see the 20-yard catches in the red zone sometimes, but that's really about it. You don't really see the man going down the field. I mean, obviously you're gonna be able to pull up some highlights for him going down the field, but whatever. 9 times out of 10 he's running a damn slant for 8 yards.
As an overall wide receiver, Devontae Adams is talented. If the Packers have him too, that's even more for the fucking Packers spread. But safe on the Packers money line. Any other words in this game? All right. Obviously, we don't have picks for the Titans and the Steelers picks because their spreads and their money lines and even the game situated is not even out yet, so we really don't know if it's going to happen or not. And if it does,
I would take the Steelers money line in that.
Yeah, same.
I think the Steelers will win that game.
Depending on the spread, I might go to Titans spread because
we could see a little Derrick Henry shut down.
It's home. Steelers will be home.
Yeah.
I believe so.
So the Steelers are probably going to get the spread, -4.5, something like that, I would predict.
I would say more, probably.
Could be a
Really?
-6. I would say -6.
Titans are 3-0.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
think
know.
they're getting 6.
I think matchup
maybe
wise.
5.5.
Seahawks are getting 6 with the Dolphins. I think the
That's true, yeah. I mean, I think matchup-wise, their defense is going to be able to stop what the Titans do well, which
Titans
is running
don't
the
have a
ball.
good run defense either.
And they have Corey Davis. A.J. Brown's still not coming back, sadly. So you have Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith trying to carry your team against the Steelers defense. I don't know. I guess we'll see, though.
If it was 6, I would definitely take the Saints spread.
Big Ben's been playing pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm all in on the Steelers. If the money line is beautiful and the spread is nicer, yeah, Steelers all the way. All right. That wraps it up for the Week 4 picks of the week. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let us know your picks or your questions about locks, spreads, over-unders, anything in the comments. We got you with a response. Appreciate it. We're out. Deuces.
Thank you.